Hey guys, I just wanted to make another video for you. This one I'm just going to actually go through the whole quiz. Now some of your questions may be different from the quiz that I'm going through because there's about 15 that they pull from, but you should have all these same types of questions. Okay, so this first one says, which graph is for this equation y equals 2x minus 3? Okay, so the way you solve these is if the y is by itself, so that's the first thing you look at, okay, is the y by itself, and then you look right in front of the x, that number right there is going to be your slope. Okay, so it's going to be 2 and it'll be over 1. Then your last number is going to be your y-intercept. So that's where you start on the y-axis. Okay, so if we look at this first graph, we start at -3 on the y-axis. So I'm going to go down to -3. Okay, that's where it's starting, right there. And then for my slope, I'm going to go up to, so the top number is your up or down, and to the right one, because they're both positive. So I go up to the right one. Okay, so from this line, I'm going to go up to the right one, up to the right one. Okay, so that's the correct line right there. Now if we go down and look at some of these other ones, so like this one doesn't start at -3, it starts at +3, so the y-intercept is wrong. This one also starts at +3, and it's not going up 2 and over 1, so that one's wrong. This one does start at -3, but it's going up 2 and back 1, so that would be a negative slope. Okay, and so that's why that one was wrong. Okay, second question says, how would you explain how you would graph the line x plus y equals 2? Okay, so first on this one, you have to get this y by itself. So right now it has this x by it. Okay, we need to get rid of that x. So the way you do that is just like solving any other formula. You just have to move the x over and you have to do the opposite. So to do that, that means we would subtract the x over to the other side. Okay, which is what I have down there. So then you would have this y equals -x plus 2. And so that means you would start, your y-intercept would be 2, which is what is written here. This is this point. 0, 2 is your y-intercept. And then your slope would be a -1 over 1. So you'd go down 1 and over 1. Okay? Okay, next question says that Travis graphed this line, but he made a mistake. Okay, and so on this one, again, if we're looking here, so my slope in front of the x is I'm gonna put it over 1 if it's not already a fraction. So my top number is my up or down, bottom number is my left and right, and then this number here is my y-intercept. Okay, so if we look, he did start at 5 for his y-intercept. Okay, so that was correct. So his slope, he should be going down 4, because it's a -4, and to the right 1. So if I go down 4, 3, 4, and to the right 1, down 4, to the right 1, so that's where his line should be. Whoops. Okay, so the line should be a lot steeper. So it looks like he got his slope mixed up. So that's his mistake. So he went down 1 and to the right 4, so he got them backwards. That's the mistake on that one. Okay, so then on here you have two graphs and you have to figure out which one is correct and why the other one is wrong. So again, you'd have to get this x over to the other side by subtracting it, so you would end up with y equals -x minus 2. Okay, because I'm going to subtract this x right here. Okay, so that means that I would start at -2 is where I would need to start. That's going to still be my y-intercept. Okay, so if you look at this graph, this person started at 2 right there. This one started at -2. So already this graph cannot be correct. So then you can check the slope and they would have to go down 1 and to the right 1. So the slope is correct. This slope was also correct, but they started at the wrong place. Okay, and so Rudy's graph has to be correct because of where the graph started. Okay, on here, says Sarah has a part-time job and is saving money for college. She opened up a savings account and made an initial deposit of $250. Okay, so anytime you're talking about your starting point, so right here, her initial deposit of $250, so that's going to be like your y-intercept. Okay, that's your starting point. And then she gets paid every week and puts $50 in. So that's going to be your slope. So it's going to be $50 for 1 week. Okay, so it'd be like 50 over 1. And so that's why your equation is going to be, if you look down here, you need to have the y equals 50x plus 250. Okay, and it's kind of hard to see here. But this would be your equation right here. Okay, so 250 is your starting point, so that's like your y-intercept. And then the 50 over 1 is your slope, so that goes in front of the x. Okay, and that would be your slope. Okay, so then this last question is another one where two people graphed, and you have to figure out which one is correct. So on this one, you can see your slope right here is 3 over 4. Okay, so 3/4 is your slope. And then your y-intercept is 4. Okay, so they would have to start at 4. Okay, that one starts at 4, this one doesn't. So this one can't be correct because they started in the wrong spot. So then you want to just double check the slope, make sure that they're not both wrong. You know, sometimes they throw those trick questions in. Now this one is kind of hard to see if you're going up 3 and over 4 because it goes off the graph. And so what you can do instead is you start here, because 2 negatives is the same as a positive, so we can go down 3 and back 4 to check it. Okay, and then that ends up on our line right there. Okay, now if you do have any other questions, always feel free to, send me an email, come to my office hours on Monday, but that'll hopefully get you a good start on this quiz.